Welcome to Multifamily Live.
I'm Keely Yarusi.
And I'm Jason Yarusi. Our mission is to help you unlock your full potential as a multifamily real estate investor.
So you can do more deals, bigger deals, with less stress, keep more profit, and free up your time.
Multifamily doesn't have to be a mystery. It's time to go live.
Aloha, everyone, and welcome back to the show. Super excited to have my next guest on, Mr. Lee Yoder. Welcome, Lee.
Thank you, Billy. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me on.
So excited to have you on. So Lee was a practicing physical therapist when he realized his true passion was building his own business and investing in real estate. He took his passion and considerable action to quickly build a portfolio with several small apartment buildings. He was able to quickly reposition this portfolio, bring it full cycle, and provide an incredible return for his investors. Today, Lee is focused on syndicating larger apartment buildings. He is the founder and visionary behind Threefold Real Estate Investing, and he's committed to forging a path that will generate incredible wealth and opportunity for all involved. His focus is driving the business forward by forging new relationships with top-notch professionals in the real estate world, bringing on more partners to invest along Threefold. Lee also hosts a podcast, Threefold Real Estate Investing, which discusses multifamily real estate investing while also focusing on pursuing better relationships with family and a better walk with Christ. Thank you so much, Lee. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. Excited to get into this with you, Billy.
So let's dive in. Why Threefold?
Oh, good question. So that comes out of the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible. And in that book, it talks a lot about business and life. So I recommend that book to anybody. But it says, one man can easily fall, two men stand a little bit stronger, but a threefold cord is not easily broken. That's not exactly what it says. I'm paraphrasing, but that's where we came up with Threefold. And we feel like, it's not just us here at Threefold, like my wife and I, my business partner, but we partner with our investors for sure. And then we for us, there's a bigger calling than just being successful in real estate. And that's following what we feel like God is calling us to and making a difference in the world. And I know you guys do so much of that. And that's one really cool thing about real estate is, the returns are such that when you get it going that you can make a nice return for yourself, but you can also impact the world. So that's the Threefold. Those are the three strands.
Let's dive into that a little bit more. I want you to really, really focus in. What is Threefold? What are those three strains that uphold your vision?
Okay, great. Yeah. So here at, our team is myself and my business partner. Our job as the sponsors is to find the properties and find an opportunity, investment opportunity. Then we have to go and find the capital in order to take that down to be able to buy the asset and take action on the plan that my partner and I come up with. So without our investors, without the limited partners, without them investing in us and partnering with us and having that strain, we can't take down the property because my partner and I, don't have unlimited funds. We can't just keep buying apartment buildings. We've got a vision, we've got a team in place, we're ready to go, but we need to partner with our investors to be able to take that down. And then for us, there's just got to be a bigger vision. If you just want to make money, you probably can do that. But we really like to bring in that third partner for us that's following Christ and having a vision of, what he calls us to and being good stewards of the capital that he blesses us with and blessing others with that. So that third strand is us trying to, really right now, we haven't, developed this as much as we'd like, but it's really a lot of giving back to our residents. We involve our family in that. I get to involve my kids in that, giving back to our residents and just doing a little bit extra for them, certain things that obviously aren't going to bring us more revenue, but it's going to improve their lives and doing some things like some extra gifts around different times a year and doing things like that. So having that bigger vision of it just makes it more fulfilling for us on those other two strands for us and our investors. So those would be the three strands.
I love it. Let's dive into how you protect and serve your residents, because I'm a firm believer in, we're a fiduciary for our investors. We want to grow our investors' money. We want their money to make money babies. But the thing is, I'm a firm believer, if you take care of your tenants, if you take care of your residents, if you take care of the people whose basically their lives have been put into your hands, you are providing them with a home. So how do you, as you, Lee, and your business Threefold, walk with Christ while helping your residents?
Well, I'll tell you, it is a business, Billy, and I don't mean to act like, we're missionaries and we don't, we're not here to make profit as well. But I'll tell you one thing that I've been talking about lately, in this environment, in this market, I think when you buy, at least the deals we're looking at when we underwrite them, there has to be a value add strategy, because where prices are at today, that you're just not finding assets that like, hey, we're just going to put new debt on this and keep rents where they are, and it's just going to cash flow. The prices you have to pay today, you have to raise rent. So the way we go about that, and I think a lot of people do this, but for us, we feel like this is a way for us to take care of our residents, doing exactly what you're talking about, Billy. I totally agree with the way you framed it there. So we want to come with capital to invest into the property early on. So, when you have vacant units and you make the property look really nice and you do some big CapEx projects, it attracts better residents, and they're going to pay a higher rent. So that's the vacant units. But for the residents that are going to stay there, you need to increase their rent too. Well, when you just go right in and you just increase rent, that is just thinking of the bottom line. That's just, hey, it's a numbers game. Sorry, if you don't like it, leave. And I mean, there's times that people do that, and certainly I'm not going to demean them, but for us, we really want to go in and spend money right away to show the residents, hey, this is a value add strategy. We are trying to bring the building up from a C+ to a B-. So we are going to ask you to pay more of a B- rent. Since we're doing the building, but they're going to see right away that it's not just a take and no give. We're painting the building, we're improving the parking lot, we're adding some amenities, we're increasing, we're improving the common areas. So there's some things that aren't revenue generating that we're doing to give them a nicer place to live. And then the biggest one, Billy, is answering maintenance calls right away. When we come in, we have learned, I bring more and more to every deal, being ready for deferred maintenance, because the guys we're buying from, there's a lot of deferred maintenance. We are not going to let that go. So when we're coming in, we are spending a ton of money on the residents that stick around that just have not had their maintenance calls. So we're coming in and doing that right away. So hopefully the residents see that, yes, we are going to raise rent. That is part of the plan. If you stay here, we're going from a C+, C+ to B-, whatever. So rent's got to go up. That's part of the business plan. But you're going to see that we're not just raising rent. We're putting a lot of money in the property to truly improve the place you're living in, and we're just going to ask you to pay a little bit more. So that's kind of the basic plan. One thing that's been really neat for us, again, it's fun with kids to do this, because we really want to teach our kids that, hey, as God blesses us through this property, it's a unique situation that we're able to do something like this. We're going to try to give some of that back. So it's been really fun, like around the holidays, to go out with the kids and let them be the ones that are dropping off, kind of a little gift at each door with a note that says something, and just kind of doing something like that, just saying from the ownership group of, this property. So just hopefully the residents are getting a feel that, hey, they are raising our rent. This is obviously a business for them. They're probably, profiting off of this, but also they're putting a lot back into the property. And then there are just some nice touches that they're doing that it does seem like they actually care about us and our living situation. They are, making it better. We got a note just the other day from residents said, this is now the third ownership group, and this is by far the best they've had. I mean, we're only a few months in, but she mentioned like getting the maintenance calls answered quickly, and that the building looks great and things like that. So that was really long-winded, but I am passionate about that. I feel like just as you are, Billy. So yeah, that's kind of our long answer of how we're trying to do that.
Lee, this is your show. I am just here smiling and taking in all the goodness, because that is goodness, because you just wrapped up in a basket what value add is to so many of us. Yes, we have a duty towards our investors, but we also have a duty towards our residents, towards those people, like I said before, whose lives that we have the opportunity to help and uplift. Right. Let's take this back a few. So I just told everybody that you used to be a physical therapist and you had this big aha moment. So when did that aha moment happen, and how has it shaped your life today?
Well, there's kind of two parts of it. So I was on two ends of the spectrum. So when I was doing physical therapy, I was a home health physical therapist. And that job for me was great for my family because I had a lot of flexibility. I got to make my own schedule. Frankly, I probably barely worked 40 hours a week. It was not a stressful job at all. So it was great for the family. Unfortunately, God didn't create me for a relaxed job. So I was not fulfilled, not challenged. I just couldn't do it. So with the company I was with, I actually came into the office. I was a clinical director for them. I started, rising, kind of basically climbing the corporate ladder. I was moving into director of operations role. And now, Billy, I'm like really enjoying my work, very challenging and fulfilling. And I've got no flexibility and I've got, no extra capacity and, not good for the family. So I was kind of on both ends of the spectrum. So when I was in that corporate job, I talked to a buddy. Somebody handed me a real estate book. And then I got another one and read Rich Dad Poor Dad. Okay. And so it was a little bit like, wait, okay. There's another way to do this. It's not just like have this job or that job and climb the corporate ladder. Maybe there's a whole different, I just feel like what the book says, there's a whole different game you can play. You don't have to play the same game everybody else is playing. There's actually a different game. So that was a light bulb moment. So I talked to a buddy of mine that was in real estate full-time already that I go to church with. And he said, Lee, is there any way you could do your job from home so that you could start like a real estate side hustle to get into it? And so that was kind of another light bulb moment. And so I decided, Billy, to go back to home health physical therapy, where it's the relaxed job. I got plenty of bandwidth. I'm not even working 40 hours, got tons of flexibility. And that's the perfect job to allow me to start a real estate side hustle. So I did that at the end of 2016 and started getting into real estate. I mean, it took me a whole year to get a flip, and then I did a duplex, and then I got into multifamily. And then at the end of 2020 is when I was able to quit doing physical therapy and do real estate full time.
Well, congratulations on that. And it sounds, and I love the way your story goes full circle, because I just wrote down, we are created for more, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
We have paths that God's ordained for us, and we should walk these paths. And sometimes when we try and walk the path and we think it's the path, we think it's the right path. So you were down this physical therapy path and you're like, I don't feel fulfilled. Please show me the way. So you walked the harder path. You walked that path that seemed like it was paved with gold, but it was harsh on your feet and it was a hard climb, and you didn't get to see your family. And you were like, please show me the way. And finally, you have been shown the way, and you have this amazing light about you that just shows me that you have found that path. And I cannot wait to see where this path takes you. So, Lee, where do you think this path will take you?
Well, I'll tell you, the more I've gotten into this and I've just gone bigger and bigger with bigger properties. And what's been really exciting about that for me, Billy, is the more I've done real estate and specifically multifamily for me, I just really believe in it. I believe in it as an investment vehicle. I believe in it as a wealth creator. And so I want more and more people to experience this. It's like when you read, I want more people to read Rich Dad Poor Dad and realize there's a whole different game you can play. And it's not for everybody. I mean, frankly, I always joke, like my wife read Rich Dad Poor Dad and she's like, yeah, I identify with Poor Dad. I want to go that route. Just that. Yep. She's like, no, thanks. I'll stick with the board. That's fine with me. It sounds much more relaxing. That's fine. I still think those people should invest passively in multifamily real estate. But I think it's for everybody to some degree. So I hope, Billy, and I think where God has me going is doing more apartment syndications where I can bring in more people. So that's what I'm really excited about, is doing these syndicating apartments now, because I started off just doing some joint ventures on small stuff. And so it was just me and one other guy and my in-laws and my parents and a buddy from church. And so they got to experience it. And the more, I started to establish some confidence and confidence in multifamily investing in general, and then confidence in myself doing it. And now my team, I just wanted to do it on a bigger scale to bring more people in. So I think that's what God has called me to. And I'm hoping that's where we're headed and that it keeps going well. And it seems to be going that route. So I'm just excited to bring more people into this.
And I'm excited for you. And I love the fact that you touched on the term building confidence. With every step you've taken, it seems that your confidence level goes higher and higher and higher. And that's what I found in real estate. With the action comes the confidence. So how is it, can you put those two together? I have my own thoughts on this, but I'd rather hear yours. Can you put together how you were able to build your confidence by taking action? You could have had this aha moment, ooh, I'm going to go into real estate. But without action, what would have happened?
Without action, nothing would have happened. I do like the idea. I've heard different people say like think big, but go ahead and start small. That's what I did. So I can speak to that. I don't think everybody has to do that, but for me, Billy, as I was kind of mentioning, my wife and I are opposites. Often God brings, opposites together, and it works very well. So she's not a risk taker, and I am. So we started small, and we started with a flip. And, one thing that comes to mind as soon as you asked me that is my wife said, Lee, are you sure you know everything you need to know to do this flip? Like, as we're getting into it. And I said, I am sure I know everything I can without doing it. I can't, I've read all the books, I've listened to all the, I know I don't know everything, but the rest of what I need to learn, I can only learn by doing it. And I think, she's much wiser than I am. I'm so glad she slows me down oftentimes, but I think there's a lot of truth to that. I think you have to realize that at some point you're going to have to start, because whatever you don't know, you can't learn it unless you get started. Another kind of aha moment for me, Billy, and what I like about multifamily is when I started getting to my first one. So I had a duplex, and then the next one we got was a 16 unit. And that felt, when you talk about building confidence, I mean, that felt so huge. And now I'm like, I don't want anything to do with the 16 units, too small. But again, it just, and it's a couple short years, but you'll just grow as you go, like you were talking about. But bringing in a property management company and bringing in a mentor, that is, I leaned on their experience to give me confidence, because I had confidence in them. And because I had my mentor, which is kind of like a coach to me, because I had him with me, and because I had a property management company that was actually going to be doing, like once we take over, they're doing 90% of the work, 95% of the work. I had confidence in them. That's what helped me with my confidence. So I think, you maybe start small, because you're just going to have to jump at some point. You're never going to know everything you need to know until you get started. So at some point you've got to jump in and have confidence that you're going to figure it out. And then I think having a mentor or coach and having a property management company if you're going into multifamily, that helps a lot to give you more confidence.
I love how you brought your wife into this, and I was giggling on the side, trying not to interrupt you, because I am just like your wife. I am the risk adverse one. I'm the one that's down. Yeah. I'm usually the one that goes, wait a minute, let's look at that again. I was actually the one that said no to multifamily in the first place. But with education and with taking those steps and taking those action steps, investors like myself and your wife, because your wife is an investor, as she is, supporting you. Sometimes, and you also touched on this too, we're not all the same. As investors, we are not all the same. We are going to invest differently. We're going to live our lives differently, and we're going to get into these things differently. So let yourself learn and let yourself take those steps as you need to. But as Lee, as you said, you need to take that action. So Lee, before I let you go, I would like to know a little bit more about your podcast.
Yeah, sure. I appreciate that, Billy. I started that a little over a year ago, and it just tries to, again, I have a passion for getting more people into multifamily investing, whether it's active or passively, because I just think it's an awesome vehicle to add passive income to the income that you and your family have, and also create wealth, build long-term wealth for you. So I want to tell more people about it. So I started a multifamily podcast. But at the same time, Billy, as we've talked about, I believe there's got to be more to wanting to invest in real estate and success in investing in multifamily real estate. For me, and I think many others, I'm finding out, the more people I interview, it is true for many others, that it's got to, provide time freedom and freedom to pursue relationships with your family and the people that mean the most. And then for me, it's following Christ. For many others, it's a faith or something else there. So we do kind of get into that as well. So I say it's real estate, it's faith and family, because usually if you have success in real estate, it means that you're having success with your family and your faith and things like that. That's why we do it. So, focuses on multifamily, but we also get into faith and family.
I love it. I love it. Those are some of the pillars that Jason and I stand on as well. It's foundation,
That's awesome.
faith, family, fitness.
Oh, good. I like the fitness too. Yeah.
Go ahead and steal
That's
it
great.
if you want. We don't use it very often.
No,
It's on my Facebook.
I'll just follow you guys. I'll just follow your lead. I like
So,
that.
Lee, I am super excited that you are here. I am super excited to have you on. Please let my listeners know how they can find you.
Yeah, Billy, thank you. I'd love to have them jump on our website. We've got a free ebook called 5 Steps to Passive Income for the Full-Time Dad. We kind of focus on dads. It's for moms too, but my partner and I are both dads. So it's a cool ebook just talking about a lot of the things we've talked about here. So you can get that on our website. It's Threefold, spelled out THREEFOLD, REI, as in real estate investing.com. And then our email, we'd love for you to email us, same type thing, info, INFO, at threefoldrei.com. You can find me on Facebook, Yoder on Facebook, and on LinkedIn. Love to connect with anybody that wants to learn more about multifamily real estate investing.
I love it. So connect there. I will leave all those links in the show notes. Lee, thank you so very much for being on.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
And for all my listeners, I am so grateful to you for listening today. If you loved what you heard, please rate, review, and subscribe. And please, by all means, go check out Threefold Real Estate Investing. It's an amazing program and it's an amazing podcast. Thank you so very much. Aloha.